Oh yeah, this is my new intro. What do you think? Look at these embarrassing photos of me from high school. What the hell was I thinking?
Hi guys. Did you like my new intro? I loved it. Went on a trip to the coast with my boyfriend to visit his family. What did you do? I'm just kidding. It was really fun. I drove half of the way there, and when we came back I drove the whole way because my boyfriend broke both pairs of his glasses. We didn't really do a lot because it was more of like a relaxing vacation than an activity vacation, but I drew a lot, so I thought, why not make a video about all the art that I did while I was on my trip. Booyah! Lately, I've been struggling with art and like art motivation and art ideas because I just don't really know like what kind of art I want to make, and I don't know what meaning I want to be portrayed in my art, you know, like what meaning I want others to see in my art. So I've kind of been experimenting with different methods of drawing and different subject matters and different mediums like watercolor, pencils, markers, and oil pastels. Those are my favorite mediums right now. And I kind of just like to explore how they interact with each other, and the different textures they create together, the contrast of the mediums, and how layering them in different orders creates different effects and textures. And I think it makes the artwork more interesting and impactful when there's more contrast, when there's more difference in the artwork, more like variety, I guess. I've also been exploring like stylization, like specifically my line work, you know, like the actual, like the way I actually put the pen to the paper and like how I hold it, like my grip, the angle, and like how that affects the stroke that I make, you know, like the length, the harshness, the thickness, the placement, and also like the consistency, like, you know, how abundant the line work is throughout the artwork, if that makes sense. And of course I've been experimenting with colors and different color combinations and like what emotions those invoke in people, and like the placement of the colors, of course, as well in my piece. I've also been messing around with proportions like a little bit. I like exaggerating proportions and bending them. I think it's really fun, and also like adds a layer of interest when the body is like contorted in a unique way, or the portrait has very exaggerated features, because I want my art to be interesting and meaningful, and like I want my art to be primal but have a sense of like sophistication to it. I guess I kind of want my art to be just a neutral observer of the world, but with rainbow colored glasses on, if that makes sense. I think something that I need to start doing again is creating full finished pieces that I actually like think about and spend time on and like plan out a little bit more, because lately, for like the past like months, like maybe a year even, like I've just been doing little doodles in my sketchbook and experimenting with my style because I've just been too scared, not necessarily scared, but just like I just feel like I'm not ready to go onto, you know, a canvas with the paint and do a real finished piece with lots of layers. I don't know why, but I just haven't felt like I have the ability to create something like that again. But honestly, like I shouldn't hold myself back. Like I should just experiment, right? Like I should just go, because like I feel like the fact that I'm thinking so much about, you know, like, oh, like what do I want my art to be? What do I want others to think of my art? Blah blah blah. Like I feel like art comes from a primal, authentic place that doesn't stop to think, you know, oh, will others like this? Will creating this make me happy? Will it make others happy? Because art is made when a feeling or an idea or an urge is made into a tangible idea that you can experience in some way, right? Art is made because people have things that they want to say, things they want to express. So instead of overthinking myself into becoming a completely different artist, I should just express myself. Just follow my hand and let it guide me, you know? So here's the artwork that I created over my trip. As you can see, yep, a lot of experimenting. I was definitely kind of inspired by all of the nature and like the colors of where I was. I really like that one. I really like the texture and the monochrome coloring of that one. That one's kind of just like, I was messing around, like I don't even know. That's my boyfriend fishing. I was kind of just practicing, you know, getting like a figure drawing, like just like quickly jotting it down, just trying to get the likeness right. That's supposed to be like Billy and Mittens, but like human form. But like it's like abstract of like their souls combining, whatever. This was just like an experimental page. I was kind of just drawing like random things, just figuring out my style, figuring out, you know, like subject matter, what I want to draw. That is a scrap, I guess. Like I don't really know like what's that for. I really like that drawing. I really like the hair. I like the line work of the hair. I like the and that was just some random, ignore the quote, okay? That's not how I feel. I'm just like, I was just adding text because I thought it needed text, okay? And of course, on my trip, I worked on Billy and Mittens. The Billy and Mittens grind never ever stops. Billy and Mittens is forever and always. Billy and Mittens, 100 years, 100 years. Anyways, I don't know if you probably won't get that reference. It's from Rick and Morty, stupid. Anyways, I did lots of, you know, sketching and just, you know, brainstorming like different story ideas because I want to start making shorts with them. But I've also been working on expanding the world of Billy and Mittens and figuring out, you know, like the society that they live in, and like their town and everything. So I've kind of just been working on drawing like the environment and like people in their world and how they interact with each other. Mostly I've been drawing like houses, like buildings, and I've been I was very inspired by the coast, which is where I was on my trip. Because there's lots of nature, lots of beautiful nature, but also it's like a very quaint, cozy town. So like that was kind of like the vibe that I wanted to encapsulate in my Billy and Mittens world. The world of Billy and Mittens is essentially like the exact same as ours, like the society and like the way that they function is like exactly the same, but of course it's with animals. And they live like a lot closer to nature, I guess. Like not really, like they have the exact same like lifestyle that we do, but their houses are like made of trees and like rocks and stuff, you know? Like that's just what their world looks like. It's just like the aesthetic, but the actual function of their society is like the exact same as ours. Oh, except for like the roads. I mean, technically it's the same, but I made the roads. I had this idea that the roads are rivers and they have like river cars, like cars that like the wheels are like water wheels, you know? And they're like, so they're like basically the exact same as us, but they're like more eco-friendly, I guess, which like makes sense because they're animals and they're more connected to nature. We're animals too though. We're also connected to nature in the exact same way. We just act like we're not for some reason. I don't know. But anyways, I want the world of Billy and Mittens to be like ours because I want the plot lines to be like slice of life relatable to people, but of course like the characters' personalities and the situations that they end up getting themselves into are more exaggerated, because it's kind of, I want Billy and Mittens to be like a mirror of our society, like a warped mirror though, you know, like a fun mirror in a fun house that makes you look silly, you know, like it does show you what you look like, but it's like a funny version that you can laugh at and kind of get an outside perspective of it. I had this idea for the roads where they're made out of water, so they're like rivers and the cars have water wheels instead of regular wheels. I thought that would be funny and cute. I don't know. But yeah, I've just been messing around with mostly just like houses, you know, like what the environment would look like in their world and different nature things that you find in nature that could be houses, you know, and also just actual places that exist in the story, like that was Billy's work, for example, and that's the university. And of course, I had a new random story idea because we watched Michael Bay's Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was really inspired by, I thought it would be really cool if the Transformers had like a biological like alien, like a living thing like inside it. Like I know they are like alive, but like an actual like biological living thing inside of them that is like their actual soul, and like they just built these robots because they're just like they can't move on their own, you know, like they had to build machinery for themselves. I was kind of inspired by that idea to make like these really intelligent blobs of flesh that have to like use the world to their bidding, to their advantage. I don't know. And then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles inspired me to make like this ragtag group of teenagers that end up having to fight the aliens because there's like an alien war, and they're just like survivors. They're just like regular people, but of course it's about, you know, like the heart of human beings and like what we can be when we're together, and like it just takes one person to make a difference kind of thing. And I don't know, and it would be like a 5-book series, 5-part series of, I don't know, I'm never actually gonna like make it, but you know, I just like coming up with story ideas and like indulging in them because I find it fun, even though it's never ever gonna go anywhere. Like that's just what I do for fun. That's just like what my hobby is. And you can pause to read all that crap if you want, but it's not interesting. So did you guys like it? If you say no, I'm gonna kill myself. So you have to like the video, or my blood is on your hands. Sorry. I don't know what else to say.